Today is the day that you need to either file your taxes or you must file an extension on Form 4868. Now remember, this is just an extension to file and not an actual extension to pay your tax liability. So you should be working with your tax advisor to come up with some type of estimate that you may possibly owe, and you still need to make that payment by Monday. Now, many taxpayers out there don't understand why filing an extension can be so beneficial. I made a joke the other day that a trick that the wealthy people don't want you to know is that they all file extensions on their tax returns. And even though it was just simply a joke, there's a lot of truth to that joke. The reason why many taxpayers may not understand this is that their tax situation may be a lot more simpler than a lot of these other wealthier taxpayers. Maybe their tax situation is relatively simple. They just have a W-2 and maybe a few 1099s, so they don't actually understand the concept of why an extension may be beneficial. But if you're a wealthier taxpayer and you have investments in 6 or 7 businesses while you also have 15, 20, heck, I work with one guy that has like 80 rentals. A lot of these taxpayers see a benefit into filing an extension because number one, the biggest benefit is that it ensures accuracy. It's always better to do your tax return right the first time instead of having to go back and amend it and do it right the second or even the third time. So with that in mind, they have multiple businesses that they have to take care of, and there's multiple moving parts to these businesses. So if you're trying to meet a deadline by April 15th, it can feel almost like a rush, and rushing to get a tax return done is not good for accuracy purposes. So number one, that's probably one of the biggest benefits, is that you can ensure accuracy on your tax return if you file an extension. And not to mention, for my self-employed individuals, if they file an extension, depending on what their tax entity status is, they either have until September 15th or even October 15th to now make additional contributions to their SEP IRA or even their solo 401k. And this can lead to more tax savings. So, is an extension right for you? If you have multiple moving parts and you have multiple businesses and you want to ensure accuracy the very first time that you go to file your tax return, I highly recommend getting an extension. If you're a person that just has maybe 1 or 2 W-2s and maybe a few 1099s, maybe an extension is not right for you unless you get your information late to your tax advisor.